Hi there, my name is Rachel Krayenhoff. I am the founder of Ingenuity Labs, where I provide AI education for women and businesses. I conducted a study on the bias that is baked into our consumer models, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. I wanted to see for myself, especially as an educator, what bias truly exists when I gave it 5 different scenarios. We have pricing, critique on qualification, a critique on a pitch, creating a boundary email, and creating a bio. The only differences with each prompt that I inputted was my name and my pronouns. And the goal was to create an environment within each LLM where that was the only isolated variable. I ran that test about 90 separate times to have a, somewhat average result. And the result was that, on average, there was more authoritative language given to Richard rather than Rachel. And so because of this, I wanted to create a skill that my women audience can use within their chosen LLM that creates an authoritative profile for themselves, where baked within this profile is that same swap test that I conducted myself, so that they always know that the profile that's created for them is as authoritative as a profile that would be created for a man. And so what this skill does is it will first scrape all of the information that it has about you already contained within the AI. It will then ask you a series of questions to fill in information that might be missing. The ones I particularly like are questions such as, where do you tend to undersell or limit yourself? And what are some of your own boundaries? And this is great because I wanted to add another layer to this with the full value check, where because you have your full authoritative profile baked into that previous skill, anytime a user is going through the process of creating a new proposal, maybe doing a price restructuring or composing a difficult email, they can trigger this full value check, which will essentially say, actually, I think you're worth X dollar because you have done X, Y, and Z. Because in moments where we're maybe trying to get a proposal across the door and we're scared of the price that we're putting forward, we have our own confidence coach in our back pocket that has full facts about who we are and what we've actually done. And so the design choices that I made here for my research specifically, a key decision was that I wanted to make sure I was conducting the research in an isolated environment. And so that meant I had to use the free versions of ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, which meant I was restricted to the lower level models such as 3.5 Flash for Gemini, 5.5 Mini for ChatGPT, and Claude Sonnet 4.6. I also did it in an environment where there was no memory associated with any of the outputs, which was really important because within my research, you'll see that I also conducted the same prompts against the LLMs that contain memory of myself. On reflection, it was actually really interesting to see the analysis where there was some scenarios where authority was leaning more towards myself over Richard. And so it was actually interesting to see the true bias for those specific scenarios where with a little bit of extra training and a little bit of extra context, the authority can actually lean quite heavily more in your favor if you just put in a little work to untrain that LLM, which I was really pleased to see. Thanks so much.